Welcome to the Ready to Love After Show. So each Friday, we will bring in lunch with some of the big moments from last week's episode of Ready to Love. Coming from a military family to being adopted to playing a game of basketball for Alexis's heart, let's take a look.
We're going to have to set something up because I got to see. You know what I'm saying?
So let me know whenever you want to get beat now.
Get beat?
I'm not going to take it easy on you either.
Listen,
so
I don't want you to, you know what I'm saying?
Be clear.
We can do the whole love and basketball thing, you know what I'm saying?
You want to play for my heart?
Yeah. I'm going to do just like old boy. I'm going to take them ankles.
Dunk on me and everything.
Alexis, she is into a lot of the same stuff I am.
If you really liked me, you would let me win.
But really? She's into sports big time, and I mentioned several times that I'm gonna give her buckets because I am not taking it easy on her when we go play.
So what's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport? Now it's boxing. I love to box.
Oh, okay.
I always wanted to do it, but my parents was like, nah, we're not gonna help you fight better. That's crazy.
Right.
So.
Well, I'm sure with your military training and stuff,
I mean, you do some stuff. So, I mean, I can hold my own, like, all jokes aside, but I'm not, you put me with an MMA dude, I'm gonna get beat up. Like,
yeah, 100%. Do you ever regret, like, your decision to go to the military?
I don't regret my decision to go to the military. It helped me grow a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Would you want your boys to go, or would you tell them, like...
I am supportive of whatever my boys want to do as long as it's legal. If they want to join the military, I support them. If they want to play instruments, if they want to be in the band and I was an athlete, they can be in the band. You know what I'm saying? I just want whatever makes them happy. And to me, it hits a little bit different because I'm adopted.
Okay.
And so prior to meeting my biological mother's side of the family, my sons were like the first blood relatives that I had.
Wow,
you know
that changes things. That really changes things. Okay.
And so, like, my connection with my sons is like, it's unmatched.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
William opening up about being adopted is huge. You know, that's not something he had to share with me at all. I want my man to be able to come to me and talk to me about anything and it be a safe place.
So, first of all, you know, you gotta love William and Alexis. They are two solid people, and I think really ready to love. I didn't see like the chemistry between those two. That's just me. You let me know what you think. I don't see chemistry, but I like how Alexis gave him space to be vulnerable. She gave him the floor to open up. And this is why it's important, ladies, because this is when men start to be vulnerable, start to open up. You kind of get to see what they're really about. He opened up that he, is in the military, that he was adopted, and that he doesn't really care what his kids do. And I think that's really important, especially for Black men. You know, we want to raise our kids to be a certain way, to be like us, to be athletic. And he's like, whatever you want to do, it's fine with me. So you kind of got to love that. William is kind of that sweet soul. I see him taking steps really slow to get to the point, but I think they're both there for the right reasons. Do I think I see chemistry with those two? I don't think I see it, but I think they're both ready to love. I don't know, what do you think? All right, so let's continue things. So then we see Will once again, but this time he's speaking to Koshia. All right, so he seems real ambitious in creating a legacy by opening up a gun store, but she seems to be disappointed by the lack of action towards that goal. Let's take a look.
So I learned that you're a comedian.
Facts.
What's the goal there?
I want to be respected and known for, like, being funny and all the comedy stuff, but, like, in the bigger picture, our goal is to create a legacy. Something that, like, when my kids talk about us, they're like, my great-granddaddy, he started this.
Have you started anything yet?
I'm definitely working on it. I want to, open up kind of a gun store and a gun range where I teach women of color how to operate firearms safely and accurately so they can defend themselves.
It's an admirable thing to say, but I think a lot of people say a lot of things and don't put action towards what they say they want to do. How do you envision starting those programs?
I have a friend that he actually owns a gun store.
Hey.
Hey.
Mr. William, can I steal this beautiful lady from you?
Absolutely, sir. I don't know how confident everybody is. Dominique is kicking back knowing he's not going home, but me personally, I'm shook. My non-traditional career, like, I already know that's kind of a barrier when I meet people. So my chances of going home tonight, I feel like it's pretty high.
I'm even nervous now.
William, there's something to be said. There's something to be said about cocky and confident. And I feel like he just needs a little more confidence. He doesn't need to be cocky, but he doesn't know where he's going. He's all over the place. He's a comedian. He has a, you know, he's in the military. Like, I've heard 15 different job things from him in 5 seconds. And then he's not even like, he's not even doing it and like landing the plane and being strong and confident about it. That's why Kamisha's like looking away. If you kind of look at her facial reactions, she's not really into this conversation because she's like, They cut off to her and she says, a lot of people say a lot of things and they don't back it up. That's because she doesn't believe him, because he's pulling things out of thin air. That'd be great if he can have I mean, I don't like the idea of a gun store, but I mean, that's just me. But if he wants to do that for women of color and help them out and have a legacy, I think he needs to think a little bit harder about that and maybe put some action towards those steps. I think that's why she's not believing him, and I think that's why he's not confident. He thinks he's going home. I believe that love is love. I know a lot of people want to be financially secure by the time they get married or, you know, find someone, but you can't, when people say like, I'm waiting for my financial backgrounds to be set. I want my job to be set before I go into something else. Yeah. I mean, love is love. You're going to find it in the grocery store. You're going to bump into it at a red light. It's not really timing. Timing is such a weird, odd thing with love. That's the thing about love. I think as a man, if you're over a certain age, you should be in the making steps towards financial stability, right? Am I correct? Or being a provider, and that's what women want. And I think it's okay to be like, I'm not sure where I am right now. I'm not sure where I'm going, but this is what I want to do. I think false promises, I think, you know, saying things out of thin air, we know. Women, we know when you're saying, we don't believe you when you say things. So I think it's not as important for a man to be, you know, have all his coins together. But if you really want a woman, a certain type of woman, and if she has her coins together, you gotta come correct. All right, well, the next clip starts off with a conversation about dating someone with multiple kids, but then takes a turn to Koshia admitting that she didn't know her ex-husband had 4 children. Take a look.
How could you maneuver this off the table?
I can figure it out.
Okay.
Listen, I know how to maneuver.
Okay, say less.
Yeah.
So you a hooper?
Hooper, big time hooper, actually.
Okay.
William is very tall, but I like when a man has facial hair. And if he just doesn't have facial hair, my dad said you shouldn't trust him. I don't have kids, but
Do you
I
want?
100%, do I want them?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What about dating a man with kids?
To be really honest with you, I would prefer not to, but I think everything is circumstantial. It depends on, you know, how many mamas are involved.
So let's just say there's hypothetically 2 moms,
2 moms, you have 3 boys?
3 boys.
I'll be real with you, it's a lot.
I want to understand, like, what has led you to this process.
So I got divorced in 2018. So shortly after I got married, I found out my husband had 4 children.
Hold on.
Yes, I found out.
Hold on. You was dating this cat.
Mm-hmm.
You got married to this man.
Mm-hmm.
And you did not know he had kids.
I didn't know he had children at all, let alone 4 children.
How? Was the dick lean that good?
So I felt very disrespected by that question. It made me recognize that he wasn't here to understand or actually have a vulnerable conversation. You can't jump and assume that just because the sex was great,
I'm
I overlooked,
I'm
right?
sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Let's do this, because I don't want to leave the night without us exchanging numbers at least, Instagrams and all that. Let's do that. I just don't think Koshia is into me, and that's okay. Let me type for you. But I'm asking Koshia for her number. Even with all the red flags, I want to thoroughly go through this process and truly get to know the ladies. So I just settled for the social media, call it a day.
My boy Will. Will, you tried it. That was not it. That was not the time to have that that funny moment. And I get what he was trying to get because she was being really serious. She was opening up and she was saying, I didn't even know this man I married and trusted, which had 4 kids, which automatically for a man, by the way, when a woman opens up like that and tells you something like that, you could automatically assume she probably has trust issues. So going in with a joke is probably not the best idea. She did not take him serious. You saw her look right at the camera. She broke the 4th wall. She is not having it with this man. And I even think William's there for the right reasons. I feel like he could have asked better questions. He could have gotten to know her. Because that's a big deal when somebody drops that bomb on you. I didn't know I was married to someone that had children. That's a big deal. That's beyond an extra job or an extramarital affair. You're talking about kids here. 4, not 1, not 2, 4 kids. So there's that also. It's just, guys, you gotta, especially meeting someone for the first time and they're opening up to you, you gotta start off a little gentle than that. And I think at that moment, Conchita was like, we're done. And then he pulls out his phone and he's trying to get the number and the Instagram. Yeah, he's trying, but he's not gonna win. He's not gonna win. These wills, and then, William, every clip I get of William, this whole episode is quite epic. I find out more and more about him. He has more jobs. He has more kids. He has more baby mamas. There's a lot going on with him. I think he needs to button up his story. But he seems so nice. Like, I really am pulling for him. I feel like he's ready to love, and I feel like he's here for the right reasons. And I think he wants to be, this great man. And I think that, it's so interesting when it comes to baggage and past relationships and past things. It's hard because if you really have a hard past or a hard life and background, talking to somebody and telling them that the first time you meet them, it's like, I wish he could figure out a way to present his life that seems more manicured and not kind of chaotic, because it seems chaotic. And I still feel like there's a sweet soul in there, that it's a nice guy and he can figure it out. He just doesn't know how to do that properly. So that's why Alexis is going, I mean, she's just eating her food and going, okay. In her mind, she's probably thinking next, but she's giving him the chance to talk because he's such a nice guy. But man, yeah, that's always a red flag for women when you have multiple baby mamas with young children. And I always say, give the guy a chance, let him see. You don't know. Somebody's past you can't judge him on. But it's hard in the first 5 minutes of meeting someone to hear all of that. It's a lot. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Ready to Love After Show. And be sure to tune in next week. And also subscribe to OWN's YouTube channel and follow me at Tamica on Instagram. See you next week.